Hey everybody, Charlie902 here, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Super Mega Awesome Edition. We last left off, we followed the intended path and beat the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There are some more paths I wish to go down. There's new content, we're going to go check that out in a little bit.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, we are going to go back up to the boss's office, back
Yet
to the
there was
mind
not
control
a single
facility,
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
and
Stanley
we're going to
decided
try to
go
activate
up
it
to his
instead of
boss's
deactivate
office.
it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right, back here.
The moment
2587
he entered his manager's office,
or 2857?
Stanley froze in his tracks.
Can't remember.
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope?
I'm going to
for
write this
Stanley's
down so I don't
future?
have to listen to this
Alas,
again.
it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious
Stanley's
and
past.
so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
Said it hid the secret of Stanley's pass. That's new, right?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, so there's the escape path and there's the mind control facility. We're going to try to bring the mind control facility back online. We will become the boss.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Can't drop through there. I thought you could, but you can't.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
So we're going to try whatever ending this is, and then we're going to go to
Now
the new
monitors jumped to
content.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility
Waiting on the
it
elevator?
was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for
3.
all.
Looking for 4. Maybe we have to turn on the power first. I could see that. Big red button. 5. Alright, well, let's turn on the power.
And when at last he found the source of the room... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
It says to press
What's
4.
that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds.
What am I supposed to be doing
here? Time
here?
doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Yep.
These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
So is there something?
Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
I wonder if there is a way to beat that, or if that's just meant to make me run around and think there's a way to beat that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, let's go to new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
You can hear that his voice is it's a little bit different. It's like recorded on a different quality mic. Going back to elevators, are we?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, so we're just going with the second one now.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
427. Made the line too. I got it. New and tasty. Taste the sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
What does that say? Sequel ideas. Stanley can throw axes. Stanley gets spoons. Artistic something. Wife scene. Intimate. Free roam mode. More famous narration. Dress up mode. Proper gameplay. Nude Stanley. New York City jetpack. Fuel canisters. They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Cool red chart. 2. Color red. Leverage holistic value. More TSP, better TSP. Win-win. Sequential mind share. Paradigm shift, synergy. Brick and mortar approach. Enveloped client-centric marketing. Red. Stanley Parable 2. 2 ferns. Fern is so important.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
All right, sequels are good. Portal 2, yes. Half-Life 2, yes. Batman Arkham Asylum 2, haven't played that one. Divinity Original Sin 2, yes, really good. Doom 2, meh. Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, no idea. Dark Souls 2, I got you. You're making a joke. Dark Souls 2, funny, you funny guy. And for those of you who don't know, Dark Souls 2, while it is a completely playable and fun game in its own right, it doesn't quite capture the feeling of a Dark Souls game, or a Souls game in general. Miyazaki really didn't have a whole lot to do with the production of Dark Souls 2. A lot of content got cut out. It was very sprawling, and it felt more like an adventure game than just a Dark Souls game. Not saying it's horrible, but it is the least good of the Dark Souls series. You are the sequel. This way to the show floor. New content. Can we get back here? No, we can't. New features. New content bus. Expo hall. Holy crap. It's a heck of an expo hall. Stanley Parable 2.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Name, hear yours today.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
What if my name actually was Jim? Spoilers, it's not. All right, let's get in the mindset. Okay, I'm Jim. Jimming it up. Jimming today. All right, let's go see what's up for Slim Jim today. Oh, cool. I'll get to press this button and hear my name.
Jim.
Oh, my God.
Yes, you see? What a thrill. What a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
And 360 no scope.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I almost feel like this additional content is less choice-oriented and more just...
I suppose I could
Hey,
allow
just walk
only
through and look at
people
all this
named
cool
Jim
stuff.
to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Huh.
An
Epilogue.
epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The baby's grown up. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Free achievement. Infinite hole, free achievement. Let's go do the free achievement. I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff. I want my free achievement. Pull a lever, receive your new achievement, no steps. It just works. Get yours now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Why does this look like a Dalek? All right. No free achievement. I actually would have thought it would have been funnier if you pulled that and actually got an achievement. But, it's just me.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Jump circle. Still on 0 jumps.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yep.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Well, there's a collectible. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
One of 6. Don't tell me there's actually 6 of these. Because I will not
God,
find
it
them.
really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Jump circle. This map. Free achievement. The button says the name of the player. Merch. Settings. World champion. Stanley Parable. Reassurance. Bucket. Office decorations. Epilogue. Collections. Infinite hole. And exit. Infinite hole. It won't end. Probably should do the infinite hole last.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Of course. Oh, and it's changed out here too.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Let's keep the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
The t-shirt is the best new feature. I like that one. Can't go back that way. We went to the button. No, we didn't go through this little hall here. No screenshots. New office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray trace, more of the same, but in a good way, sequel. New features, new contents. I think Infinite Hole is the place to go now, right? What is this? Oh, we walked through there. Okay. Infinite Hole we go. We went over here. And I guess we just jump down the infinite hole until they reset the game. Is that how this is going to work? Concrete contemplations. Holy moly. Hole like infinity, time like infinity, space like infinity, distant future, distant space-time falling, time and depth, opening surrounding area, depth infinite, infinite hole chart. Question mark and science. More hole, infinity, and falling. Look at this. It just keeps going. Let's check it out.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
What? I didn't mean to step out. All right, let's go.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Or I can just infinitely do this.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, I'm liking the infinite hole. Can we move around?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this
Kind of.
tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out,
Cigarettes.
Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both
See
said
the
some
top?
things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is
I had to go back.
The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't
Yes.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
Nope, going back down.
Thrilled. Oh gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Yep.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
That appears to be the case. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.